listening to Football Field Pass, the #1 podcast for Premier League and college football news, analysis, and more.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Football Field Pass with me, Chris Lakis, and
Kevin Rasky. What's going on, Chris?
Kevin.
How you doing?
I think I had a hangover the night before. Non-alcoholic.
Oh no, bro. Oh no.
I played way too much FIFA. Which did not lead to cause of my migraine. Migraine was because of the weather. And literally it was way too much for me the weekend. We had so much Premier League football, which I never even tap into.
Yep.
And then I had to work Saturday, which screwed everything up. I didn't get home till like 7:45, 7:50.
Oh my goodness, bro.
And it was crazy. It was crazy. We had a ski convict in the last 2 weeks in Largo.
Oh my gosh.
Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah. It was in our Phoenixville, Schwanksville area.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Well, good news that dog was able to catch him, man.
The dog saved all of us. And I knew a couple guys who were on the medic SWAT team. So
yeah.
But how is the new baby, brother? How are you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm tired, man. You can probably hear him maybe crying in the background. Mama's taking care of him. She's so graciously letting me record this episode with you.
Nice.
Dude, the guy's doing well. He's eating like a champ, pooping, peeing like a champ, just doing his thing. He's a boy, little Walden, man. He's awesome. I'm grateful for him. I'm just grateful. I mean, I have 4 kids, man. I have 4 kids.
I know.
4 flipping kids, bro. Man, it's awesome, but at the same time, it's exhausting. I know my wife's starting to get that little like, should we go for 5 kind of thing? I don't know. I'm like,
no. Do I need to talk to her?
Pump them brakes.
God's
yeah,
sake.
you can talk to her and get you'll go home in a pine box.
What,
Mary? I'm sorry if you're watching this right now. Your husband's
what is going on in this world? I thought 4 was enough. 1's enough.
Hey, I mean,
and
I
a dog.
Folks, hey, I know people. I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs. Oh.
2 dogs. 2 ginormous dogs. 200+ pound dogs.
Yeah, that's enough.
We're a pretty packed house right now.
I'm sure you are.
I'm
just so thankful that you have a podcast with me.
I know that's the only time I get to talk to the outside world. I emerge once a week from my cocoon or my hole like a prairie dog to talk about football on both the other side of the pond and this side of the pond. Then I retreat into my cave to nourish myself.
Yeah, that is pretty much. It is Rasky's life. It is Rasky's life.
Yep.
Rasky's life. That's why it's like
I'm like the groundhog.
You are, yeah, pretty much. So guys, we are doing something new tonight. We are going to do 2 episodes for our beloved, simply lovely Premier League fans and football fans of across the pond, which is going to be called The Pitch.
Yep.
And
we heard y'all. Yeah.
We did hear y'all or not hear y'all. And then our second episode will be The Gridiron, which will be only on this side of the pond, which will be our greatest and beloved sport of college football. So,
Amen.
Because there's so much content, there's so much going on, we are definitely putting 2 episodes in 1 episode into 2.
Exactly. So what that means is we're going to be taking if you are here just for Premier League news, this is your episode. If you're here for college football news, you're like, where's my college football news? You're going to want to go to that other episode where we talk about college football news.
Yeah.
So shout out to my friend Angel who gave us heat on that on Facebook too as well. So you're getting your wish, Angel.
Yeah, troll. What?
Who said
that?
Bro, you don't mess with Southeast Louisiana girl like that.
Oh my goodness. Oh god. Roll Tide. There you go. Hey, I don't care. I'm going to eat some shrimp. Coach Joe's here. Coach Joe.
Oh, okay. We need to calm down.
We need to calm down. This is serious.
This is the distinguished league. The distinguished Premier League. Soccer.
Hey, Kevin. So the King of England called.
So,
The King of
by the
England
way,
called.
have you watched episode 1, right?
I can't wait to watch episode 2.
Dude, it was so funny. The best part was them so for any of y'all out there who don't know, Chris and I are big Welcome to Wrexham fans. We love Rob and Ryan. We love everything they do.
We do.
With Wrexham. It's just a delight to watch, and it's been such a huge coup for folks to get involved in English football in general. But in this first episode, Ryan and Rob get the opportunity to meet the King of England, Charles himself. And they have to take etiquette lessons because they've never met royalty before. So learning how to sit in a chair properly, how to walk, and it looks like they're doing the Monty Python funny walk sometimes.
They do. They do. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah. So, but anyway,
yeah, man. But
let's move. Hey,
speaking of going down to the wait,
I'm
just gonna say this: if we're going to meet the king, we're gonna need some kind of pass, right?
Field pass, baby.
We need a football field pass. We need a football field pass.
I got my pass. I don't know.
I got mine. And so, just so y'all know, I am working on getting us actual plastic football field passes.
That would be awesome.
And it's going to be kind of merch is being worked on right now as well for those of you who follow us.
You know what? If anybody's listening to the Premier League and listening to our podcast, we'll do giveaways.
Yeah, if you're listening, drop a comment right now, letting us know at the end of this, or you can drop it right now. Scroll down, drop a comment about who your favorite Premier League team is, and whoever the first one to do that is, we'll give you a free hat. And this we're gonna put a timestamp on this. This ends basically next Sunday. So today's the 19th. We're recording. We want to move forward.
You know what? For Christmas, let's put Christmas. We need more. We want competition. So for Christmas,
the first comment on this post will get a free hat from us. A free hat from us with the football field pass logo you see up in that corner right there, right now.
Do we have money for that?
I have the money for it.
Okay. I don't know if I have money.
We're making it happen. We're going to be having some hats coming out soon. Chris and I are going to be wearing some beautiful football field pass.
We're not advertising this. You have to listen to the show.
Yeah, we're not advertising. There's no ads out there. We don't pay for this. We are literally doing this out of the goodness of our hearts because we love Premier League soccer and we love college football. We want you to love it just as much as we do. And we want you to rock that sick logo up in the corner.
All right. So
anyway, so back to our journey down to the field with our pass. It's a giant stadium. We've been walking down and sauntering and talking.
I'm tired,
but you're tired from this walk. But I want to tell you something you're not tired of is hearing about Tottenham and how great they're doing right now, man.
Oh, Tottenham,
dude, Postecoglou, man. Oh, August manager of the month. James Madison, man.
Tottenham. Glory, 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 Tottenham.
Man,
that's my boy.
James Madison.
That's my boy, Ainge. Ainge is my boy.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait.
No.
If anybody was listening,
no, dude, you're just like a southern boy who's had too much Philly.
Philly, exactly. I don't know who I am anymore or what I need to be.
Where do I belong?
Ainge and Maddie are both August manager and August player of the month for the Premier League. What do you think about that? Tell me what your thoughts.
I love what's happening in Tottenham right now. Part of me thinks it's finally the curse of Harry Kane lifted as he is flown west to Bavaria, into Munich.
I got news about that. Go on.
You can talk about what's the news. You decided to interrupt my eloquent spiel. So
I did because you said Harry Kane. They have a buyout clause to bring him back.
I know they do.
Okay, just go on. You go on.
But I'm thinking it's not going to happen because they're doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, I don't want him back.
The curse will
good
come
chemistry.
Back.
I'm good.
There's these guys who do these funny sketches all the time on TikTok and Instagram where they talk. It's all about Harry Kane and in Bayern. Where they're like, look at all these trophies around me. What is this? I've never been here. I honestly think it's going to come down to the wire this season with the Premier League. I think Tottenham's form has been absolutely exquisite. I honestly think Postecoglou has them playing at the highest level right now. And one thing I was reading an interview he did recently with some of the folks from the Premier League because they have their own little news outlet they have going on. And one thing that I really loved is because you know what Tottenham's motto has always been, it's dare to dream, right?
No, it's dared to do.
No, it's been dare to dream for the longest time. And Postecoglou changed that mindset from dare to dream to dare to do. What I'm saying,
we're fact checking this, folks. West Ham over here.
I'm just saying. Dare to dream. It's dare dream do. So really, to dare is to do. That's their biggest.
That's the
dare is to do. But for the longest time, they've been dreaming. The longest time, Tottenham has been dreaming of the glory of the success in the Premier League. They've been dreaming of trophies lining their trophy case, and Postecoglou has basically challenged them to take the dreaming and turn it into doing. And I think he's got them playing at high level. He's tactically got them communicating with one another. Overall, I just love what I see out of that unit right now. They're playing exquisite football. And I think
to be honest with you, I just think it's Ange. I think it's Ange.
You think it's Andre?
I think it's Andre. I think he's brought a leadership that what attracted me is already so far the calm and coolness and just I feel like, and I could be wrong, I feel like he's always 2 steps ahead.
You feel like he's Pep in that what respect?
I think he's Pep. Yeah.
I wouldn't put him at Pep level yet. I would say here's Pep, here's Postecoglou.
Yeah.
He's getting up there. He's proving his worth and his ability. Because I mean, when he was with Celtic, man, he was a phenomenal manager. Celtic is one of the most respected teams in the world. They're respected in the Scottish Premier League. I mean, and to come in here now into the English Premier League and be able to take over one of its premier brands, and not only take over one of its premier brands, but start actually winning with them. And honestly, I can't wait until they play Man City. That is going to be a match, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you sound not so hyped about that, bro.
Dude, they destroyed you.
They didn't destroy us. They exploited a weakness and struck when the iron was hot. That's what happened. It wasn't as a summarizing destruction. It was a great game the whole way through until we made a mistake, and they exploited the mistake, and that's why Man City's good. Is they are consistently relentless. Now, this is what that's the thing that's going to be the best test for Tottenham. That's what I'm saying, is when Tottenham plays Man City.
No,
that's going to be whoever wins those 2 matches this year is going to win the Premier League, in my opinion. It's going to be Tottenham or it's going to be Man City to repeat. So they're going to play their first match against one another December 2nd at 9 a.m. It's one of the early matches. December 2nd is going to be Man City and Tottenham's first meeting of the year. And I honestly am hyped for that. If things continue the way they are, that's going to be one of the early matches of the year. Match of 2023, bruh.
What I love about Premier League, it's always the next match. And for us, it's Arsenal. So we can't underestimate Arsenal.
No,
Arsenal's our rival. We hate Arsenal. We can't stand Arsenal. I think you guys can't stand Arsenal.
Nope.
You can't stand us. We can't stand you. This is just London trifecta.
You kind of just shove us to the side.
Yeah, we hate you. You hate us. We hate them.
Yeah.
You hate them. I just think it's I am looking forward to December, but it's always for what I feel like a Premier League, it's always the next match. And it's Arsenal.
Yep, exactly. I'm actually looking forward to the match. That's one I really want to watch this weekend. I can tell you that.
Well, Arsenal and Tottenham.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's one of my matches I definitely want to watch this weekend. There's a lot of good fixtures coming up this weekend, including that one. We have obviously Arsenal Tottenham on Sunday. We've got Barnley.
Whoa!
I mean, what? I'm excited.
We'll get to that.
Bro.
We'll get to
I'm
that.
excited.
But I want to know.
There's so many coming up.
What do you know? So going with the hot streak, Tottenham's hot streak. What do you think of Matty getting the Premier League Player of the League? Do you think that was a little?
No, I think he deserved it.
Okay,
I think he deserved it. He has had 3 appearances so far in the first 5 match weeks. He's had 2 assists, 1 goal. He has been just from a form perspective, he has had quite a perfect start, really. In August, that's been the biggest thing. He's made instant impact since joining them from Leicester in the summer. He's produced a really joint league high 3 goal involvements, and it's not just that he's involved in the goals. He's causing things to happen, which is awesome. I love it. He's really done some great things from both the assist perspective. He's created 9 chances off 25 crosses in that, which is the 3rd most in the Premier League. He's done some really, really good stuff to be a total team player and that's what I think about him. He's not this goal scoring, I'm going to score 50 goals a season kind of like Erling Haaland type player. He's a total team player. He contributes where it's needed. He contributes from the assist. He contributes and gives. He'll get goals when the chance is given to him, but he is playing unselfish football that makes him deserve this award, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So moving on to Chelsea and Man United's woes.
They continue.
What do you mean?
So for the longest time, Man United was the team. They were the Man City of the Premier League growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s. Everyone over here, you were a Man United fan. You loved Cristiano Ronaldo when he played for them. You loved David Beckham when he played for them. You loved all these great players when they played for them. You loved Wayne Rooney, Mr. Man United himself. But as of late, especially this past decade, they have just not been able to get anything together. It's been pathetic to watch. And this past weekend was probably the worst display of that. Man United was dismantled by Brighton Hove Albion, which kind of condemned them. And here's the thing: this is Man United's worst Premier League start in history. Man U. It's for Man U. Really, the reason they're not doing well. It's a combo of injuries and absences that have made it difficult for their manager Erik ten Hag to do things. But it's still a manager can still manage a roster effectively, even if they're not the greatest of players. They're still Premier League quality. However, this match, he did something really ridiculous. He brought the team out into a 4-4-2 diamond formation, which is a narrow shape. And tactically, that doesn't make sense against Brighton Hove, who's a very wide team. They like to spread the field wide and have a lot of wing attack.
And you can do 4-4-2 with a wide.
But they did.
I'm a
4-4-2
wide or narrow.
Yeah, I'm a 4-1-2-1-2 usually when I'm playing FIFA. But in soccer tactics, traditionally a 4-4-2 diamond is traditionally a very narrow formation. Formation that packs the middle of the field and tries to control the middle of it. But the problem is if you have good wingers and fullbacks, you can really exploit that on the wings because it's a thin formation on the outside.
Yep.
And that's what's killed them because they basically you gotta think it's 4-1-2, and they're staying close to this to create good passing opportunities. And you got that attacking midfielder up here or another midfielder, central midfielder, depending on what you're doing with that diamond and how you want them to play. But you're trying to create this tight packed diamond in the center of the field to try and to keep those passing opportunities and keep possession. It's a possession focused type of formation. However, it's not the right formation against a fast and quick scoring team that likes to exploit the wings like Brighton Hove Albion does.
Right.
And it's also a new formation that the players at Man United were not used to. Yep. So, it allowed, like I said, it allowed Brighton Hove Albion's wide overloads really to make that narrow formation extremely risky. So the goals were finding easy space by just going outside their shape. And then they were split. Brighton Hove Albion was splitting their center backs out and actually showing them, pushing them up a little bit to carry the ball forward. So it even further spread out the formation and completely just vice gripped them and flanked them.
Yeah.
So the thing is, here's the stat that I think is sad for Man United. Man United, may continue this form because they have conceded 2 or more goals in each of their first 4 Premier League matches this season, which again is one of their worst ever in history.
Right.
And then I think something ominous really happened though, as Holland, the dollar store version of Erling Holland, they have Holland and Holland in the
no.
The Holland is HOJLUND for Man United, and then Man City has Holland, which is HAAALAND. One is significantly way better football than the other.
Sure.
Well, so when Man United striker Holland was being subbed out this past weekend, he was booed, and so was Ten Hag. It felt ominous, and I don't think, honestly, if they lose to Bayern this upcoming week in their first round of Europe play, I really don't think Ten Hag has much of a future, man. I think by mid-season he will be out of a job, personally.
Yeah, I think a new leadership might have to be in order here.
I think honestly, the team that owns the family that owns them needs to sell them. That's more what needs to happen. It's a whole business overstructure. It's not just the manager. They've got to completely gut the whole organization and rebuild from the ground up. And that's what happens. And they're a blue blood club. They are one of the names in the Premier League. They're one of the old guard. And same thing with Chelsea. Chelsea's another club that continues to struggle despite having the most expensive roster of signings.
Dude, having a draw
against Bournemouth.
That's no excuse.
Well, and now granted, they currently have 12 injured senior players. They have 12 injured players. So like certain players like Bettinelli, Lavia, Madueke, Nkunku, Chukwe Meka, Reece James, Badashile. Like these are players that are significant contributors who are expected at least to be significant contributors when they purchased them this past summer, who are completely out of the lineup with either illness or injury. They're also, they had a unique opportunity to make a win, grab some points from a lower tier team, a team that they should be far superior to, even when they are playing their second string, so to speak. But they couldn't get anything going. They were slow starting. And the one thing that was really hard, it was a hard reality, I think, for a lot of the Chelsea fans. Pochettino, the manager, former Spurs manager, was very visibly frustrated.
I'm sure.
You can see it. And the one thing he said is his team needs to learn how to play smart football. They need to smarten up and learn what they're doing. They just can't go out there and rely on pure talent alone. I think that's been the issue, is they've been ignoring the manager's instructions.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes when you bring a team of superstars and they just do what they want to do. It's like when we had the dream teams with like LeBron and all the teams, like what's his name over in in Cleveland. How much did he really actually coach the Cavaliers when LeBron and the dream team was doing his thing? Or did LeBron just run everything? Same thing with Spoelstra. Did he coach them with the Heat? That's something to think about. So
yeah, no, the final in with Chelsea, it's just there's no excuse at this point.
Yeah. Yep. So they basically need to take a hard look in the mirror, maybe sell some of these players, or they need to have a moment of real talk where they say, y'all need to start playing as a team before we are relegated, basically. I don't know. I don't think they can do any worse than Everton is right now, but
right.
But anyway, man, that's just sad to see. I feel bad for those two teams, and I feel bad for their fan bases. I mean, at the same time, as a West Ham United fan, it's okay. I'm okay seeing it, but at the same time, you hurt from them after being being such a cellar dwellers for some time. So
yeah,
it's just insane to see Brentford placed higher in the table right now than Chelsea and Man United.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
Absolutely, man. So, anywho, that's really what's going on there from a Field Pass news perspective. Any other news that you think happened this week, man?
Nah, no, man. It's been kind of very, which I like. there's no aggressive sexual harassment charges going around in town, so that's good.
Well, on the pitch, and the gridiron, that's a whole other story.
The gridiron, that's another story. Or if you're in Spain, yeah, I know. As long as you're not in Spain, you're doing okay. So
yeah, exactly. But let's do what they've been doing this week, and let's focus on some football, man.
Yes, sir. West Ham versus Man City. We'll start with that in the pitch.
In the pitch, man. I'm still rocking my West Ham background, even though they lost to Man City. This was an interesting match. West Ham has shocked a lot of folks with some very, very good defensive, strong backline football. But and they controlled this game really from a defensive and defensive perspective for the entire first half. The entire first half, Man City looked human. They looked very human. Now the Pep Guardiola kind of went back to an old tactic he used to use when he had guys like Raheem Sterling on the team, and he started really pressing the wings. When they brought Jack Grealish on a year or two ago, they stopped really focusing on wing play being an important part of Pep's kind of strategy and tactic. But Jeremy Doku, man, he was a breakout star this past weekend for Man City, and he took the game on the back, and he probably had the most aggressive game because he actually had the most take-ons and progressions of any member of the team. And he was constantly attacking them with speed relentlessly. I mean, West Ham controlled this game prior to the second half. I mean, it was 1-0 going into the locker room. James Ward-Prowse scored on a really great header. But when they came out, immediately, boom, Doku scores, levels it. And then, it was level for the remainder of the game. And all of a sudden, about 68th minute, Bernardo Silva comes in, scores that one to go ahead, and then Haaland seals it and took it home. Both teams initially came out in a 4-2-3-1. But the one thing that really happened is Pep did something like Pep does, and he switched to a 3-2-5 in the second half. The one thing that makes West Ham lethal is their back line. They have a very hard to pick apart low block that can't be picked apart with delicate passing. And the only really way to do it is to go back at it by isolating a fullback and running directly at them. And that's exactly what he did with Doku. Doku took the team on his back in this game. And that's why I'm hint, he would be playing a very important part of this later episode. But yeah, man, I will say West Ham really fought for this win. But as Man City does in Man City fashion, they capitalized on two key mistakes that West Ham made. When West Ham started getting a little desperate, they came out of their low block. And as soon as they came out of that low block and the formation broke on the back line, boom, there they go. They strike.
Hey, I was gonna say when we started this game, when we started talking about this match, what was the weaknesses that they enhanced on against West Ham? Because West Ham seemed to be really, really taking care and score on Man City. First.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, Man City looked human for the first half, but Pep made some really good halftime adjustments. West Ham's defense was, I mean, they intercepted 14 of Man City's passes, where Man City only intercepted, I think, 6 or 7. And Areola was really great in goal. For the Hammers. I really thought they were going to take it away. I was really hyped until Doku comes out and levels it so quickly after the half. But again, what they did is they kept threatening those fullbacks. They took the fullbacks one-on-one, and I don't know if you saw the goal Doku scored, man. He came right from the corner and just bam, sniped that in. It was a beautiful, beautiful goal. It required a lot of touch and finesse from him. And that's a thing. I mean, the Hammers, as always, they're going to be outpossessed. The Hammers wait and they use counterattack. That is how the Hammers are successful. They have really aggressive and speedy strikers with good midfielders who can make really, really precise passes. And that's how they capitalize on the rest of the weaknesses of other teams, is they wait for that precise moment to counterattack while keeping a very strong back line. So now what happened, though, is once they leveled, they started getting a little frustrated because they wanted to go ahead and try and get the 3 points. They got a little frustrated and they lost sight of their tactic here and there. And I can't remember who it was, came out of formation a little bit, and that's when Silva capitalized. And the same thing for Holland. They decided to come out of their defense and start pressing a little more than they normally do. Because they wait to press until they come into that back block when they have the support. What happened is they opened up the block a little bit, and that's how Holland got through and scored in the end. So, but again, what it does, it shows that Doku is a star on the rise with immense pace. I think he's going to be immensely valued in Pep's offense. And Pep, again, once again, shows why he is the best manager in the world.
He is the best manager in the world. I'm starting to believe that more and more and more and more. And
don't believe, man. Just realize.
Yeah.
Dare to do,
man. That's what I loved about Tottenham. And anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Sorry, man. West Ham, Man City. They dominated basically. You're really just
They didn't dominate. They did not dominate. Stop. This is where they did not dominate. Stat-wise, it looks like they dominated. But if you look at the defensive stats, West Ham dominated. If you look at the defensive stats, possession's one thing, but that's how West Ham
played. 0.4 possession.
That's how West Ham plays their game.
Shots on target.
Did you not hear what I said?
860. I'm just playing.
Did you not hear what I said? Did you not hear what I said? What I said was that's West Ham's game. They don't play a high possession game. They play a high defensive game. They do not.
I mean, that's how you beat Chelsea.
Chelsea
Tottenham. And Tottenham. You beat us yet, man. Get out of here. I see what you did there.
But yeah, that's the thing is they are purely a counterattack team with a very good defense. That's what they're known for, and that's David Moyes football. Tough on the nose football, capitalizing on the counterattack. They're never going to dominate possession. They're never going to dominate in shots on target, but they will dominate defensively.
Yeah, they have a really good defense. I really like West Ham's defense. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about when I play you guys. So, and I think West Ham just kind of focused on the weaknesses and dominated. All right, so we are going to the pitch again. Aston Villa versus Crystal Palace. You watched this game, sir?
Oh, lovely. Yes, I did watch this game. I did watch this game. Not as much as I watched the West Ham Man City game, but I watched this game because it was a nice little top of the mid-table matchup.
Yes, it was.
Crystal Palace has come in with some heat. Aston Villa coming in with the same thing. Aston Villa surprisingly has probably one of their deepest squads. They've never had a squad with this much depth in the Premier League era as they do now. And the one thing that set this match apart, and Unai Emery, the former Arsenal manager, current Aston Villa manager, said is that for the last 20 minutes of this match, this is another game similar to the Tottenham match, similar to the Man City West Ham match, another match with late goals that put the team ahead. Unai Emery said this team played more with their hearts than their head for the last 20 minutes. That's how they won the game. In the first half, Aston Villa looked a little toothless. They looked a little raggedy, and they weren't really looking like they had enough bite. They were dominating possession. They were dominating the possession metric, but it took them into the second half is where they really had to play with greater urgency. Which kind of because Crystal Palace usually sits a little farther forward on the field. And two, on top of this, Crystal Palace's manager Roy Hodgson was not on the sideline. He was not on the touchline.
Why?
He was out. He was sick. With like the flu or something. I don't know. He was sick. So their assistant manager was the one managing the team that day. But he knows Hodgson's tactics and everything. But anyway, Crystal Palace normally sits a little farther forward. As the second half got on and Aston Villa started getting a little more aggressive, what happened is Palace started losing their attack and having to sit deep to try and counter Aston Villa's aggressiveness. And the pressure eventually paid off with those two late goals. Rarely does a manager, especially, this was really cool being an assistant manager, rarely does a manager get his sub so perfectly right because both of the goals were scored by substitutes that took them ahead. Duran in the 80s. Three goals. Duran in the 87th minute scored a goal. The next was a penalty. which was a VAR review penalty. CPFC was a little iffy on it, but still, Tielemans scored the third goal. Tielemans scored the second goal that was the penalty, and then the third was scored by another sub, Bailey. So overall, it was a really great match towards the end. To see that aggression go forward and see what heart really does in this, and that's the beauty of this beautiful game, is that tactic can only take you so far. It's when you stop. You get out of here, you use this, but you get out of your head and you go down to your heart and you play with that passion, that fire that really managers are looking for. And they would kill to have 100 guys out there that do that.
Yeah,
that's what brought Aston Villa across the line and has made them a lethal force so far this season. Their character is what shone through and their heart won out.
Right.
And, again, hearts not minds, man. Hearts not minds.
Yep. No, I agree. You got to have heart. Especially, I feel like in the Premier League, that's what sets the difference. You saw it with Liverpool, and their comebacks.
Yep.
Even last year,
apart from the great tactical shift by Klopp.
So I'm definitely looking at Aston Villa this year and keeping an eye on them. They seem to be lying in the weeds, and I think. Heart was all about, okay, for it's college football, NFL, but especially in Premier, that spirit, that pop, that energy, and it's all heart, and these players do, and it's just that extra mile that gets them to play the way they do. And I think Aston Villa definitely should, because they were only going to halftime. It was a draw.
Yeah, Crystal Palace was looking the better team, even though Aston Villa was dominating time of possession.
Yep,
exactly. So it took a little bit of aggression towards the end. It really went out, and in another crazy weekend of Premier League news, Aston Villa now sits a little higher up on the table in 7th, as Palace drops down there. So
man. That's awesome for them. Definitely watching them. Final match of the pitch.
Your favorite,
Sheffield United.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
I don't like how you're saying that, sir. I don't like how you said we can meet in a parking lot. Wait. Give me a 2-3 hour start.
You got about 24 hours to get
24 hours to get there.
I think it's 20.
What is it, 20? It's 20 hours. Give me a 20 hours.
It's 20 hours. I'd say 20 hours and some 45 minutes. I remember when I drove down here initially when I moved down here from Philly.
Yeah.
It was a 3-day journey.
Yeah. Definitely let's start with this. Definitely Sheffield United is something to look at. On the table, they're 17th, but they didn't play like that. Definitely Sheffield came to play, especially in a every field in Premier League's hostile, but a very atmosphere that this is not our home. And Sheffield, they came too. I mean, it was 1-0 before the 90 minutes, and then Tottenham just came back and readjusted. And I mean, just to have Richarlison and Kozlowski score that last goal.
Oh my gosh. In stoppage time.
In stoppage time. And
then to get so chippy at the end there to get what's his name with the red card. Oh my goodness.
Yep. And Tottenham 4-2-3-1. I feel like it's a very dominant formation.
It's the standard formation that a lot of folks can come out, and you can do a lot with it, man.
And what's so cool about Sheffield, they came out with 3-5-2. And, something that, I don't ever see. But again, I give it up to Sheffield up to the 90 minutes. They had Tottenham. They won that match. Yep. And of course, it's such a very good looking team with Udogie and Bissouma. I mean, Udogie is a defender, but you will always see him down the box to box and Bissouma doing what he needs to do as far as in the midfield, as well as Maddie just really kind of leading the way with some in the reads. You know, I know some is forward, and would you say he is a striker, or is it Carlson the striker?
Son's a striker. Richarlison is where is Richarlison even, man? Did he sub on?
He's a sub on.
Yeah, he's sub on. Richarlison is a striker, if I'm not mistaken, as well. He's a forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
But to have Richarlison shoot a goal finally.
Absolutely.
Overly due. Yeah, and to talk about his season, it has not been great.
His form has not been good this season.
So far. Has not been good.
But it's improving.
It has.
I really the one thing I liked, I think the reason Sheffield held so close for the longest time and had the lead going into the stoppage time.
Had the stoppage time.
Well, it's because of their tactic, man, and that was I think what really helped them. That 3-5-2 really provides good full face football for against a very, very powerful attacking front, and that Tottenham has. They have a really good front four, where what they're able to do though with that 3-5-2, that midfield is able to drop back in both offensive and defensive support the whole time. If you look at that, they have basically that's 5 midfielders, man.
Yeah, and that's how I was
at minimum, 3 of those will be in the defensive block at any time.
Yep.
At minimum. So and the 2 wingers can also drop back and fill it. Basically what I see with those 3-5-2 is as the attack comes down the wing, you have the 3 down here, and then what happens is the 2 wingers that sit up top here and on the wings of the 5, they drop back into more of a fullback role, and they cinch up and tighten up the line. That's why they were able to be so successful against Tottenham's absolute success.
And then you can have a 3 midfielders help out the 2 forwards.
Exactly. So, and you still have those midfielders who's drop back and play in that defensive midfielder slot. So you really create a solid 5-back line. So you can
especially you got the forward Basami, Maddie, and Kozlowski.
Yeah.
Because they're attackers. And they're going to go, and they're fast and they're attacking. So with the 3-5-2, 3-5-2,
you take away a lot of that wing. You take a lot of
that wing. Yeah, absolutely.
You take the wings away. So Solomon Kulusevski, take away their power on the wing. So what happens is it's reliance completely on the central midfielder and central midfielder. So it's reliance on Madison to really make the plays effective there, and for Star and Bissouma to come up and actually press the ball forward a little more. That's
I
really
love Bissouma. I love the way he loves. I love Bissouma. I absolutely, coming into this first year as a Tottenham Hotspur, coming in the first year in Premier League, definitely has opened my eyes. And one of my partners goes and says, "Well, it's nice to have you winning," and I totally agree. But definitely look at the back. Look at the. I really. For me, as I get to know more of the sport, the defenders, those cornerbacks, the right backs, the left backs, Romero, Paro, Van de Ven, and Udogie, fantastic defenders. As I more and more watch Premier League and football, definitely that's my heart. It's going towards too. I mean, you love the strikers, right?
And they're the ones who get the chicks, man. They score the goals.
You get the chicks love the homers, right? But that
chicks take scars, bro.
Chick takes. Those guys in the back end, definitely a special unit. Which they're all special unit because your midfielders have to defend too as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your last line defense, unless you do a 3-5-2. Is your defenders, which is really really cool.
Yeah, and I
really a beautiful dynamic sport.
Well, and that's the beautiful part of this game is that your whole team has to support one another. You're not just the strikers are not the only thing that are going to make a team successful.
No.
You need full phase football. Every single phase of the field has to be working in perfect succession. You have to be playing unselfish football. You have to be following a similar tactic. That's why teams who listen to their managers. That's why, again, West Ham has been so successful with their defensive block is because they play unselfish football in the style that David Moyes demands of them. You know, that's what it is. And I think Hotspur has been executing perfectly, but I will give props to Sheffield United. They had really good defensive and midfield phases in this game, executing perfectly. Their attack was a little lackluster. Their attack was a bit lackluster, but their defensive and midfield phases were phenomenal, and I will give props to them for excellently executed tactic on that.
And to get a goal from Vicario.
Yes.
If you can get a goal from Vicario, fantastic job. Great job. That's all I got. I mean, well played. Fantastic. Simply lovely for the Tottenham Hotspurs. Just they're number 2.
Yeah.
You know? And it's every match. It's the next match. We're not looking ahead. You always want to look ahead, right?
Of course,
but it's always the next match.
You're always like, what? And there's a lot coming up too this week. There's some good football coming up this week. I know we're not there yet. I know we're not there yet, man. I'm just saying. I'm excited. Can I not say we've got some good football coming up this week? Can I not say that?
I did a little Vogue.
A little Vogue for me.
It's still in.
Thanks.
Someone's like, what's that?
No. Yeah, it's gone. It's so gone, bro.
And I have no more final thoughts. It was great at the end. Just if you're a Tottenham Hotspur, I'm gonna watch it again because it's just fantastic. But absolutely lovely, absolutely simply lovely.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all we got. But now
we move on. Whoa, what about our players of the week? Did you forget about our players of the week?
I didn't forget our players of the week. I did not. It's one of those final thoughts as far as beginning players of the week. This is a new setup, man. You got to give me some time here.
Nope, none. No grace, Skip. No grace. I expect perfection day one. To dare is to do, to dream to dare, to not do today.
There it is. I knew that was coming. It's dare to do, man. It's the dare to do.
I know. I'm being an idiot.
I know you are. I know. Mr. Hammer yourself.
Yeah.
So our football pass picks Premier League. My pick for the Premier League. Obviously going to the matches, there was some really good players, but there's just one that I feel like it's on the rise. His form's getting better. We talked about him. Will Carlson. Yes, I know, Rasky. You know what? It's not my fault you ain't picking nobody from West Ham.
You're a shill. You're a shill.
It ain't my fault that you ain't picking anybody from the Hammer. So, you're Hammer fans.
I'm a Hammer fan. But here's the thing is, I recognize when my team doesn't play up to the standards they do. I pick people from other teams. I picked someone from Brighton. I've picked someone from. I picked players from other teams. I've only picked one time from my Hammers, my beloved Hammers, and I'm actually
too legit to quit. I got you.
Too legit to quit, bro. And this week, I'm actually going to pick the guy who completely destroyed my team on the wings for my player of the week. Yes. Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku from Man City. The guy's pace. The guy's pace was absolutely ridiculous, and the goal to level that he scored, I can't be mad at that. I can't, as a West Ham fan. I'm PO'd, obviously.
PO'd.
Yeah, but I'm still gonna be upset. But hey, it's what's gonna be. So,
all right, we'll have those folks. What is your premier player of the week? Let us know. Yeah. You want that free hat in December? Let us know.
In the comments. All you gotta do is say, hey,
this is our favorite player.
So. Yeah, favorite player, favorite Premier League team, whatever. Put that in the comments. First comment on this video. It's yours. It's yours.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, now, Rasky, what is the matches that are coming up? Unleash the madness.
Am I allowed to talk finally?
I said unleash the madness. Are you allowed to talk? Get out of here. Get out of here.
All right. There are some great fixtures coming up this week, Chris. Am I allowed to talk about them?
Maybe.
Yeah. Crystal Palace is going to look for redemption at Fulham. They're playing. They're going to have a match at home in Selhurst Park. Man City continues to look to continue with their strength against Nottingham Forest. coming in hot after this past Monday's match. Also, we have to think about too, most of these teams are going to be a little tired coming into the weekend, having played some European football for the top team.
Oh yeah.
Champions League play starts.
When does that start? When does that start?
Thursday.
Thursday night. Thursday.
Thursday.
And it's going to be on Paramount Plus. So anybody who's watching it in the American side, it's going to be on Paramount Plus, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll have to get you back.
If you need it, brother, I got you on that one too.
I may have
but
to,
the app stinks. Paramount Plus. You're hearing me right now. Please fix your app. Please fix your app.
Please. Y'all's app is terrible. I think the match of this upcoming week, the real one to watch, is going to be Arsenal and Spurs. That's the match of the weekend.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, that's going to be Sunday at 9 a.m. our time.
Yep, 8 a.m. my time.
No offense, but
yeah,
West Ham and Liverpool and Sheffield and Newcastle.
That's another great game. That's going to be another great game. And I'm also excited to see what happens with Brighton and Bournemouth too. Brighton's another team that's just really strong, man. They're a really strong team. I like Brighton.
Brighton's going to destroy Bournemouth. We'll see. We'll see.
I think Bournemouth's got a little more fight in them than we give them credit for.
All right. They did draw the Chelsea.
But, I mean,
I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that, though. But
yeah, exactly, man. But no, there's going to be a lot of great football coming up this week.
You know what? Since we got a little bit more time, we got a little bit more 4 or 5 minutes. What's your game of the weekend? Where are you gonna watch?
Game of this upcoming weekend?
Yeah,
oh yeah. I mean, I'm
just one. God, Rasky. God, one. Just one, for God's sakes.
Man, for me, it's Spurs Arsenal. That's the match I really want to watch this weekend. And I mean, I think West Ham Liverpool is going to be a great match. I'm gonna watch it because I'm a West Ham fan. I'm a supporter. I'm gonna watch it. But I think the bigger match, the higher profile match, is Spurs Arsenal.
I think mine's gonna be West Ham Liverpool.
Look at you, buddy.
I want to see Liverpool. If you could beat Liverpool, that'd be great. Beat Salah.
I love Jurgen Klopp, so the dude. He's another manager I just have so much immense respect for. He gets the most out of his players. You can tell his players have so much fun playing for him. Mm-hmm. He has the love of everyone, the love of his fans, the love of supporters, the love of everyone. So,
what's our toss up, buddy?
Our toss up. You want to go mid table this week?
Go mid table.
All right. So, I'm going to say Crystal Palace Fulham. That's my toss up this week. Crystal Palace Fulham.
Not Luton and Wolves.
No, Luton's bottom of this table, man.
Bottom of the table? Okay.
Yeah, Luton and Wolves are bottom of the table. You know, Luton's 20th, Wolves are 16th. Fulham, Crystal Palace is 9th, Fulham's 10th.
Let's do that.
Yep, that's my toss this week. That's my toss this week.
That's our toss up. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It's what we're doing.
We're doing, buddy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and then I will say, if y'all are interested, the Forest Man City game. Forest is sitting at 8th in the table. Their form's not the greatest right now, but any team could spoil Man City's day. So
playing at Man City.
Yep.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
absolutely, man.
I got nothing else, buddy.
I think that's a good first episode of this special first episode of the new format, man. What'd you guys think?
We want to hear it.
We do want to hear it. Let us know.
We want to hear it.
Are you there, God?
Hello? Can you hear me? No, sorry. Guys, so this is the first episode of The Pitch. Listen to it on Spotify. Watch us on YouTube.
Yep.
Say hi, Kevin. Say hi, Kevin.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, so watch us here, listen on here, and guys, tell us what your favorite team is. Tell you what you are feeling about this season so far in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Tell us if you want to hear EF1, EF2 championships and all that, and especially the Championships League is Thursday.
Yeah, UEFA Champions League starts Thursday. And so does Europa League. All European play starts Thursday. So there's going to be a lot of extra good football coming on.
Extra football.
And two, for those of you, speaking of football, if you also you love the Premier League, if you also love college football or are interested in learning about it, go check out our other episode.
No, we're a bunch of bloats talking about college football. They don't want to hear us.
these two guys.
All right, guys. Follow us. Subscribe. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and do it with me.
X.
Formerly known as Twitter. Guys. Guys, thank you so much for listening. There's a lot of podcasts out there, like Men in Blazers and everybody else out there. Thank you again. And Kevin, like always, is always a pleasure, to talk to you.
The pleasure is mine, brother. I am so glad to have to do this with you. I tip my cap and I bid you adieu.
Adieu.
Hey guys, Kevin here. On behalf of Chris and myself, we want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Football Field Pass. In between episodes, we encourage you to head over to our website, footballfieldpass.com, for more exclusive content like blogs and more. We also encourage you to follow us on social media and get into the conversation there and let us know what you want to hear about. We can't wait to see you next week on another episode of Football Field Pass.